I was caught up in striving for success from the world's perspective, but not feeling like I was using myself in the way God might have wanted that. And I went on a mission trip to Honduras, and at that time then I left my good job and house I had just bought in Chicago and went to Honduras for a couple of years. And I feel like by following God's promptings and maybe giving up what the world sees as really important, I actually was blessed much more by then getting this career in international development. And so after Honduras, I then kind of also took a leap of faith and moved to Washington, D.C. to work for a nonprofit. And through that time, I was kind of struggling. Friends and family were saying, why don't you get a real job? What are you doing? But I felt like God just had his hand on my head and was like, this is what I have for you. Just tough it out. Keep doing it. And because I wasn't earning a lot of money at the time, I couldn't afford my own apartment, but ended up living with a friend that I'd met in my church there. Through a friend of her friend is how I met Paul. And I just think about that. Like if I had my own resources, I would have just been living very independently. But it was because I was sacrificing and having to rely on God that I was then blessed, beyond my expectations.
From our experiences overseas, both of us have lived in less developed countries, and then as a family, we moved to the Philippines and lived there for 3.5 years, and we really were exposed to how difficult life is for the majority of people in the world. And we come to realize that here in America, we often think that what we have and what we've earned is all because of our own abilities, knowledge, and by being overseas, we have realized that a lot of it is just that we have won the birth lottery. We were fortunate to have been born here in America and had all these opportunities. And those who were not so fortunate never have those abilities to have a better life.
What we really appreciate about St. James is the opportunities to serve. We've done a number of things together as a family with St. James, the mission trip this past summer, and a number of opportunities to work in the church yard, help fix things up, working with the Council of Churches and the food bank. We also want to be teaching them that it's not just about giving money, but it is really of giving our lives back to God.
Now, sometimes they do complain about that and wonder why they are doing it, but we still want them to know the importance that they have been blessed immensely, and with that comes a responsibility to give back.
I think the more you give of your money, or in particular your time and your talents, the more connected you feel to the church and the community. And I think that's what a lot of us are lacking. I mean, in a lot of, I think, society's problems are a result of disconnectedness. And so connectedness is really important to me and our family. And I think giving is actually what makes us feel connected in a lot of ways.
I think there's so much more to giving than just giving monetarily. We can give of ourselves by sharing our stories with others. And that's what I found so powerful, just listening to some of the stories of people here at St. James who life has not gone well for, and how God met them in that time of strong need. And they opened up their hearts to God, and He spoke to them deeply. God is so much bigger than anything that we have created him or her to be. And that, I think, is what I really like about St. James, is the ability to have a community with diverse views that I can learn from and diverse experiences.
One thing that I know I've found over time is that I really can't live without a faith community around me. And we have to help create that community. We can't just, wait for it to just be there.
I think if we come to church, we get involved and we give of our time and talents, we will find that God-shaped hole inside of us is filled. And through that filling of the Holy Spirit in our lives, we will realize what this church gives to us. All that we have has been given to us by God. That is a radically different way of looking at our resources, where I have often think what I'm giving back to the church or to others is just some of my leftovers or what I can do without. But instead, realize that God has given us so much and blessed us with so much, and we are just holding that very lightly. And I should be giving as much as I can and just holding back a small amount that I need to live on. That is a total mind shift as far as how I live my life.
We are saving. We're doing our part. We have no idea if that will be enough. We have no idea what will happen in the future. But at the end of the day, we trust God that He will provide for us. And so that allows us to feel free to give as well.